World War II, Korea, Vietnam, the Gulf War, the war on terrorism, millions of American service members have served, protected, and fought for our country with their own lives. Today, there are more than 26 million veterans in the U.S., but for most returning home from their tour of duty, making the transition back into civilian life is often one of the toughest challenges they face.
Coming home from any war is a lifelong process, but for the veteran today, the fact that so many of them are National Guard and Reserves and they're serving multiple tours, they're coming back to an economy that is very weak, they're coming back to families that have seen them come and go and leave jobs that they were maintaining their lifestyle, their families or whatever. The war memories, the war injuries, the thoughts of war, that whole transition when Johnny and Mary comes marching home is very different. It's a long process. It doesn't happen overnight.
Experts say post-war readjustment can be difficult for many returning service members as well as their families. In fact, there can be disastrous results when there is not enough support services given to this population. Statistics show veterans are twice as likely as non-veterans to commit suicide. 1/3 of all homeless men in America are veterans, and most homeless veterans suffer from a substance abuse or mental health problem. 1/3 of Iraq War veterans will suffer from a mental health problem such as post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD.
The general public has always thought that the government takes care of its veterans when they come back from war. It's a real misnomer. In fact, the VA itself, even though it may have a lot of tremendous services in it, is overwhelmed. It's never been a premier service. It is a civil servant position. It's the second largest bureaucracy in the U.S. government, and it is not really the health care system for most veterans.
Many believe the key to prevent war veterans from falling through the cracks is to provide a variety of support services and resources. One approach is a toll-free crisis hotline that is designed to offer information, support services, and valuable resources to all veterans and their families.
The type of calls that we take would range from suicide calls to the VA backlog to setting up claims and education assistance and so forth. But now the most pressing calls that we get would be issues such as financial assistance. We understand veterans because we are veterans ourselves. We know what they're going through and we know what they will be going through, and that's what the hotline's all about.
While those who have served in the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan and their immediate family members comprise less than 1% of the American public, there are things that every American can do to help veterans and their families in their community.
There are countless things that can be done to help war veterans as they reintegrate. I think, first of all, the corporations can get involved, particularly with the community-based organizations that are in place that need the resources, that have the knowledge and the talent to work with these men and women, which many of them have been doing, like myself, my whole career, and several other people around the country. I think the VA needs to be reorganized. I think it needs to be beefed up. There's over 700,000 claims that are backed up right now that people are waiting on to see what their rating is. Just society in itself needs to be open more about the veteran and not just the soldier and supporting the troops. They need to support them when they come home, and they do that by getting involved one way or another.
Coming home. What is supposed to be an exciting time for most American service members returning from active duty often presents very difficult challenges. From post-traumatic stress disorder to a range of injuries to increased rates of suicide and divorce, history has shown that many veterans and their families can face a lifelong battle when they come home. Since 1985, the National Veterans Foundation, or NVF, has been committed to offering information, support services, valuable resources, and emergency management to help U.S. veterans, service members, and their families. It's the only organization of its kind to provide a national toll-free crisis hotline.
The NVF's toll-free number is designed to give veterans and their families and significant others a free number to call, something that they can pick up any phone, anytime, and call. They get a live voice, they get a veteran that empathizes and understands what this person is going through. Because as soon as the veteran or the family member starts talking, we're thinking about what do they really need? And more importantly, what do they need? What's available in their community? What is viable?
The National Veterans Foundation believes their live toll-free number plays a part in the solution to help veterans when they return home, but believes more still needs to be done for our forgotten heroes.
If everybody would just contribute somewhat to organizations like ours, we are the experts, we know what to do, but we need those resources. We need to be up, we need to be rolling, and we need to be in it for the long run. That's the big mission.
National Veterans Foundation is meeting the needs of veterans and their families and is continuously focused on expanding their efforts to provide real solutions for these American heroes. For more information about the National Veterans Foundation, contact them today or visit their website at nvf.org.